What's up, everybody? You're listening to Back to the Future. This is a podcast where we talk about films and entertainment. My name is Joseph.
And I'm Edward.
Today we're going to be talking about The Green Knight, written and directed by David Lowery, starring Dave Patel. And I think that's it, right?
Pretty much, that's like the biggest one in there.
It's a big name, right?
Oh, and the girl from the one where we're talking about. Tomb Raider.
No, Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, guys. So, two big stars. Man, I had some time to digest this.
Me
and
too.
And I'm gonna give. I'll let you give your initial thoughts.
Okay, so
Hold on, real quick. You look brown as fuck. Do you get some sun this weekend?
No, just dark Mexican, bro.
Cutting grass? What you doing? Man?
No,
You're out there working on the highway.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you just got a good tan. It looks nice.
Oh, it'll be darker next week.
Nice.
But, okay, so when we left the movies, yes, I was very disappointed. I felt like, and that was my first thought, because I was like, I hope I like this movie because it seems super hyped right now. It has all these critics loving it, and I was like, I want to enjoy it because I love Dev Patel. And anyways, we came out of it and we both pretty much had the same reaction. We were like, this was fucking slow. And we were complaining about everything. But like you said, if we had recorded this that night, it would have been bad. Mm-hmm. I would have shitted all over it, which I still kind of am going to, but
right.
So at work, I went to work the next morning and, I got on my phone and I was looking up YouTube videos, which is what I should have done in the first place. Looking up the actual story of the Green Knight, because after I watched those, I was like, oh, okay, so all this other stuff that didn't make sense when I was watching it made sense. Now, I don't want to be spoon-fed what the hell's going on in the movie, but at the same time, I was like, I have no clue of what the fuck is going on, right? And so that might have been, that's my fault.
Right, yeah, I had no context to the original source material of a poem that was the Green Knight, which was what is called an Arthurian fairy tale or folk tale that's connected with like the King Arthur folklore, but it's like not about King Arthur. It's actually about one of his knights, what was the name? Gawain, yeah. Gawain is how he becomes a knight or whatever. The director, I was reading about the director and his like whole that's what was his inspiration, and then he took liberties with the story and changed things and made it his own or whatever. My initial thoughts too was like, dude, it's slow, right? And these are valid complaints. Like, there's a lot of like scenes that just drag on, man. Like they just need to get to the point. But like I said, I reflected, I took the time to think about things, and it's like, I'm complaining because that's my movie brain that's been conditioned the way it's been conditioned for years. We're so used to fast-paced shit these days that when you watch a scene that like unfolds naturally and takes its time, it's torturous to us, because like we live in this society where everything's fast-paced. You're watching 15-second videos on TikTok and shit,
Yeah, exactly.
So, during the movie, I became frustrated. I don't know why we were like so surprised, because this is the same guy who made Ghost Story.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, now that okay,
I knew that, but I don't know why. Like
you should, man.
I know. I should.
Now I know
something.
that. Okay, now that I know that. Okay, now that makes complete sense.
Yeah. Ghost Story is this absolute beautiful film. I like it.
I like it too. Like I said, there's just certain scenes that I just cannot sit through.
It's really slow. It's a slow burn. But this movie had elements of the same thing. And those are my initial thoughts. When we came out of there, I was disappointed, but now that I've had time to reflect and think about it, like I appreciate it for what it is. Let's elaborate on that more. I'll let you go into it.
I mean, there's still, like, after I finished the little YouTube video, there were still things that I was like, okay, well, this wasn't, like you said, he made it his own movie, but I was like, I still feel like there was no place for that, or there was no reason for it, such as like the giants and stuff.
Right. The naked giants.
Yeah. So
in the original text, Joel Edgerton's in that too, in the movie too. So in the original text, Gawain isn't related to King Arthur's sister, who's a witch, right?
No, I'm not sure.
Well, no, I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
So they're in the original poem, they're not related at all. But his sister is like a witch. King Arthur's sister is a witch, and she does call on the Green Giant to come and test them. But it's really not like some knight that's just like chilling in the forest. Like she like basically enchanted Joel Edgerton's character. So the hunter and his lady, or whatever, they're like enchanted by her spell.
I got you.
And yeah, they're a big part of the poem too. Or the original source material. But in the movie, they're just kind of like, they're a big part of the movie too, but it's not like, it almost feels like, what the fuck are they even doing in this movie, right?
Yeah, it kind of does. But like I said, once I went back and saw like what the story was, I was like, oh, okay, that's who these people are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then also when I got home and I sent you that thing, that one person I screenshot you, I was like, I don't know if that's really what's going on. I was like, but that makes a lot of sense that every person that he saw within that movie was like a test, you know, to show, I guess, to see if he was capable of being a knight, you know, or whatever, and
showing honor and stuff.
Yeah, and
that's what I said when we left the theater. So I don't know if you remember when we left, I was like, because you were like, oh, his mom's the one who called the Green Knight, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, I think she did that on purpose, because he was wasting his life. He was just living this life of partying and banging hookers, and he wasn't doing anything with himself. So she calls on the Green Knight to come, and, you know, knowing that he'll like step forward and be like, oh, I'll take the test or whatever. It was like he needed to go on this journey. It was like almost forcing him to leave to be a man. And I mean, she still wanted to protect him or whatever, but like she was like, he needs to get out of here, because he wasn't doing anything with his life.
Yeah, it says what those characters are called. I can't remember at this moment. But
what characters?
The ones who have like the blindfolds on, they have certain names in the poems, or like in the not mythology, but in that stuff. I was going to tell you though, I found out that we didn't stick around for it, but there's actually a end credit scene.
Oh wow! Did you watch it?
I didn't. No, I didn't even try to look it up, but someone had described it in the comments online. Basically, you see like a little child. Some people said it was a boy. Some people said it was a girl, but they don't know whether or not that was his child or if that was him as a child. But they go and pick up the little crown. You know, not like not the crown that he wears, but like the little prince crown. I guess I think that's what it was. But yeah, we didn't stick around for that.
Yeah, I was reading that. So the director said that there is like a definitive ending to the movie. Like he made an end. So the movie ends open-ended very much. So it's left up for you to interpret what you make of it. And he wanted it to be that way. But he did shoot an ending where it was like, this is what happens. This is how the movie ends. And I think from what I read, it was like he pretty much gets his head cut off and he dies. But he didn't want to end it like that. He wanted it to be open-ended for people to like make up your own mind. So it really is. He's like, there is really no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you want to take away from it. So I like to think, you know, I'm more gonna lean towards a happy ending. And like that article you sent me, how like he kind of learned his lesson, you know, and the Green Knight or whatever kind of like let him go to go live his life.
Yeah. I was going to say, in the original story, for anyone who doesn't know about the Green Knight, because I had no idea, besides what I had read, that, you know, the gist of it is that the Green Knight comes Christmas Day or something like that. He challenges King Arthur's men, hey, I want to play a game. You know, you get to hit me with one blow with my axe, pretty much, and then I come back in 1 year and return the favor. So
he returns the blow.
Yeah,
so
he returns the blow.
Whatever you hit him with, he's going to hit you. He gets to hit you back in a year. But you have to go to him.
Yeah, and so that's when what's his name? Gawain. Anyways, that's when he takes it upon himself. He's like, I'll do it. He cuts off the Green Knight's head, thinks he killed him. Green Knight picks up his head. He's like, I'll see you in a year. And then after that, he's like, I know I'm not going to survive that.
Right, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so he knows he's like fucked in a year. He's going to get his head chopped off.
Yeah.
willingly too at that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about I'm gonna rewatch it because at first I was like, I'm not gonna rewatch this. I probably will once it's streaming. Now that I know everything behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just one of those movies like it was really hard to watch. I guess, like I said, like you said, with no context.
It was beautifully shot though. Oh my God, the visuals in that film are amazing. I will say the fox looked a little too CGI.
Yeah,
for
he
me.
did. But okay, but the fox looked very CGI. But the Green Knight looked pretty good.
Mhm.
I mean, basically, but honestly, he looked like Groot.
Yeah, he kind of
Groot on a horse.
Yeah, it was just beautifully shot, man. And I think like in terms of like cinematically, it was like really well executed, especially the way the story is told. The last what 20 no like
Maybe more like the last 10 minutes.
last 10 minutes is just like visuals and no dialogue.
Yeah,
And that's
none of
that's just
whatsoever.
like pure like that is like the purest fucking form of filmmaking because you get told this and basically we see him live out his life visual through all these visuals and there's like no dialogue. It's just like this like almost like 300 type music, you know.
Yeah.
I will say the music was a little overwhelming throughout the entire film. I felt there was like times where, you know, it's just like this big like you know, it's like this big dramatic just music that I was like felt like it was overwhelming what you were watching sometimes.
Well, it's like, see, I'm not crazy about medieval movies either, but I don't know if that's what you would call this movie, but
Yeah, it is. I would say.
I didn't even pay attention to the music. Now that I'm remembering,
How could you not? The shit was fuck. My eardrums are bleeding.
it wasn't like, oh, this is beautiful or oh, this is shit. It was
Yeah.
just like, oh, it just kind of like put me in the mood, I guess you could call it.
Whoa.
You didn't, never mind.
Is that why your hand started sneaking over to me?
Yeah, you didn't see me pull my popcorn from the table to my
gee.
lap.
No.
Oh, yeah, but I was gonna say, did you notice all the other? Because this is an A24 movie. Did you notice all the other A24 actors in it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
Joel Edgerton.
he's in it.
What other movie is Alicia Vikander in?
She's in Ex Machina. Is that how you say it?
That's an A24?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's in that. And then you have, okay, so from The Witch, the mom and dad, the mom plays the queen, the dad plays the Green Knight. Then from Killing of a Sacred Deer is that guy I like. Who else was in there?
Who plays King Arthur? Was he in anything?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and so that's another thing David Lowery in this article I read, he was saying how like he made the king and queen like he wanted them like to be all sickly and like almost like the like court was rotting, you know, like the core of this kingdom is like rotting away and stuff like that.
Well, they kind of talk about it. Remember that lady? She's talking about how green is the color of. It's also the color of like life and earth, but it's also the color of death and rot.
Yeah. So that thing, that whole monologue was like David, the director, said like those are his own personal beliefs. Like he believes that, and so he put that in there, and then like obviously it fit in with the story. But I guess it's like kind of his signature because if you remember in A Ghost Story, he has this scene where he has like a character who's like where they're at the party and he has this long monologue where he talks about like life and death and how nothing really has meaning because it's all going to end at the end, you know, everything's going to come to an end eventually. Like, so in essence, it doesn't matter what we do. I love shit like that, but you can't fucking I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's fucking thundering. R.I.P. Edward on his drive home. No, yeah, I like that kind of like philosophical stuff, but man, you can't like harp on that shit too much, you know? Like, you can't be in your head too long because then you start thinking like that, then it's just like, well, fuck, we ought to just kill ourselves. Because if everything we do is pointless, you know. But I think that's part of this movie too, is that like you find meaning you have to find meaning and give your life meaning, because that's essentially. Remember at the very end where he's like, "That's it." Like he's just like,
"Yeah,
this is it. This is I'm dying. My life's over. Like I went through all that to come to this." And I mean, I haven't given it, and I'm not going to try to like be all deep and sound deep, but like there's something there, you know, there's something to that. And that's, I don't know, I think it's like a good reflection of life.
Because he didn't want to die, and then he got a glimpse of what would happen if he went back, and it was no better.
Well, it's funny. It's like it's like this joke Woody Allen says in one of his movies, how he's like, life is full of misery and pain and suffering, and it all ends too quickly. And like that's kind of like an oxymoron, you know. It's like, oh, you know, most people like hate their jobs and their life, and they complain about all this crap, and the world's all screwed up, but nobody wants to die, you know. Everyone wants to live to be old. So that's kind of like, it's like, it's funny if you think about it, you know. It's like, you know, there's this sucks, and this global warming and climate change and all this crap and all this bad stuff in the world and racism, and it's like, why do you want to be here?
Everybody wants to live and nobody wants to die. I was going to ask you, so I saw a question that someone had posted on one of these pages I saw, and they were talking about the scene where the Green Knight comes in, and you knew right away, I didn't know who he was, but you knew right away that it was Merlin. And do you remember like when he kind of like gets like this red light comes over him, and he just like closes his eyes and he shakes his head at King Arthur? And people were like, what do you think his message was trying to say to King Arthur?
Don't fuck with them.
I don't know, but he still was like, okay, come on in.
Well, I think he was telling them like, you don't personally engage with them, you know.
Okay.
Like, he like looked at him and he was like, no, this ain't your fight. That's why he was like, my mind wants to, but my body cannot.
He did talk like that. God damn. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, he's like all whisper, almost like he was in pain. He sounded like an old man that was in pain, you know, just like, like it hurt to talk.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and that's what I got from it. Like Merlin was like, yeah, don't fuck with this guy.
See, I just thought it was some random guy.
Throw your nephew under the bus.
I thought it was just some random guy, and you're over here like, no, you didn't realize that was Merlin? And I was like, honestly, I didn't even realize that was King Arthur and his court.
Well, I think I saw something that said something about it was like it was like in the world of King Arthur and stuff like that.
I got you.
And then he gives him Excalibur to fight.
Oh, is that who it's supposed to be? Oh, okay.
The sword.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Sword Excalibur that he pulled out of the rock.
It did say something about, now that I'm remembering from the movie, it did say something about pulling that from a rock. But there was so much going on at one little point, and in that area where like he's getting ready to fight, the mom's doing her witchcraft stuff, Green Knight's coming.
I will say, so it's funny. We were just talking about like in movies in the last podcast episode, how I was saying how like Hollywood needs to cast more like people of color, not just like, I'm not just saying black people, but like, you know, Hispanic people, Latino people, like Indian people, like, and then what are they like? What is A24? You know, they're always leading the way. They go and cast Dave Patel in this. Or is it Dev?
I always say Dev because it's DEV.
I said
you could
Dave.
be right.
No, I'm completely wrong. I was gonna say Dave Patel.
Insomniac.
Dev Patel. You know, they cast him in this role, and he's like the nephew of some white king.
White king
with no explanation.
Yeah.
So good for them, man. And then, did you even think about it at all, or?
It did seem a little awkward, but I was like, I knew he was the lead, so I didn't even think about it.
Right, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Good. Movies, we need to do that more, please. Avengers, don't be scared.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get there.
Yeah. They kind of already are.
Well, did you finish that?
Black Captain America.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't even started.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier's good. I liked it. Good shit.
Got you.
But yeah, back to the Green Knight. Really good movie. Good journey film. Like I said, okay, it is a good movie, but like it's an art house movie. Do not go into this with expectations of battles and wars, like massive King Arthur style fucking war. Like, what's a medieval movie?
Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, it's not gonna have anything like that.
Lord of the Rings.
There's not gonna be no fucking.
It's like Lord of the Rings, but just the walking.
Yeah, there's no like main fight. There's no. You're not gonna see the main character, fight anybody. He doesn't even fight anyone. The whole movie.
Just when he cuts his head off, that's it.
That's not even a fight though. Like,
well, I mean, delivers a blow.
yeah, that's it. He delivers a blow, but there's like no fighting. If you think about it, that whole movie, there's no fight scene.
That's true.
Yeah, but the stuff happens. There's stuff happening. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's different. It's different. So keep that in mind if you decide to go see this.
Yeah, it is very. It seems very long. At least it did to me.
I'll be honest. Like, I'm just kind of annoyed with like A24's marketing, and I get why they do that because like they have to present the movie as something that it's not, so people will go see it because they want to make money. Like at the end of the day, A24 wants to make money off of these movies. And they know they're making art house films, and they know they're making like different. And this is why I appreciate A24 because they make stuff that's not like what other studios are making. They're taking risks, and it's appreciated. But I just hate like how deceptive marketing schemes are because the trailer. You watch the trailer, it gives you an idea that it's something that it's not.
Yeah, like there's gonna be some kind of battle.
And then you know, like how you're like, oh, it's getting all this hype, and I'm reading all this stuff. Like honestly, I feel like they probably paid people to say shit like that.
I should have paid me.
Right. I honestly feel like they pay for like this kind of like word of mouth advertisement because I got all hyped up too. You know, you're like, oh fuck, they're saying this is this and that, and I was like, oh shit, I'm ready to go. But it brings me back to Hereditary. They did this the same fucking thing with Hereditary, dude. All these critics were saying it was the scariest film of the year and blah blah blah. And dude, like to this day I hate it. Like I don't like that movie at all. Yeah. And I mean I don't think you like it either, right?
No, but you at least attempted to rewatch it.
I tried rewatching it and I couldn't even like. It's boring. It's so uninteresting. Right. I do not like Hereditary at all, right. and I just don't understand the appeal that people seeing it. And to be honest, like a part of me thinks it's just because it's
an A24
it's an A24 movie and
they have a fan base cult like me. That's
and they hear critics because like, dude, so I went to Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, I'm just curious what people are saying about like The Green Knight, and it had a really high critic score. So like movie snobs, you know, are just like, oh, I'm a film critic. I can find meaning in this, blah, 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 blah. And that's good and all. And like, I a part of my brain thinks like that too, right? I look for other things in a movie other than just like a good story, like an entertaining story. But dude, you have to remember the majority of America don't think like that.
Yeah.
You just watch a movie to watch a movie and be entertained and be like, that was good. That kept me entertained.
Yeah. But it's funny because like this movie has drawn, like when I go on the internet, there's people who love it and there's the people who fucking shitting on it. And I love seeing them go like back and forth because it's like the people who are like, you just didn't get it because you didn't understand it. Blah blah. And the other people are like, dude, it was boring. I fell asleep. I almost walked out. And they're like, just because you're stupid, you don't understand. You don't know cinema, and
you can't appreciate it for what it is. And
so that's why. I mean, but honestly, like that's why my whole take was like, yes, I should have gone into this with some kind of idea of what I was going to watch, but at the same time, it was slow. Like you can't fucking tell me it wasn't slow.
No. Yeah, it was slow. You know,
so I get both sides.
Right.
So.
But like, yeah, and like I said, like David Lowery, and it's like a Ghost Story, dude. That movie is not for everybody. That movie is fucking slow. It's a slow burn too. But there's like something about it that like it's like, oh, this is still a good movie, you know. And I think The Green Knight captures the same element. In terms of like watching it again, I don't know if I could. I mean, I probably will because I did like it, but. I don't know, man. It is a long movie.
That's what I'm saying. I would have to wait for it to stream. I don't think I'll go watch it at the movie theater again, for sure.
David Lowery's a good director. So the movie he made before this one is called The Old Man and the Gun, and I think it was Robert Redford's last film. And I want to see that.
It sounds really familiar.
Yeah, it was shot. I think they shot it in 16mm film.
If I remember the trailer correctly, he's like a very nice like bank robber.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, something like that. And he's an old man though. I want to go see that. I haven't watched it, and I always wanted to watch it because I'm a fan of David Lowery. I think he's a good director. He's one of those guys that, and I think his like next project is like a Disney studio project. So he's one of those filmmakers that like he'll go and make like a studio film for like Disney or whoever and make a shitload of money, and then he'll go and make like a little independent movie that he wants to make. Mm-hmm. So I think it's cool. I like directors who do that.
Isn't that what you want to do?
Get bank and then go and make your little art film.
Yeah,
but I want to make movies that are more like lean a little more towards mainstream. Like, because I want people to see them.
Oh, I understand.
And enjoy them.
I got you. I don't know.
But I don't know. And I was thinking about it too because, Stanley Kubrick's one of my favorite directors, right? Mm-hmm. If not my favorite, the number one favorite director. And a lot of his movies, when they were released, people hated his films. Hated them. Nobody liked his shit when it came out. It wasn't until like 10 years later where people like learned to appreciate him or looked back. And if you think about it, all his films are iconic. Mm-hmm. Every movie he's made is like spoofed by
someone.
Not just someone, but like
other directors.
No, but like it's in the
pop culture.
And so yeah, it's like pop culture. Like, you can't... The Simpsons do, the whole Jack sticking his head through the fucking door.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny, mm-hmm. That's iconic, dude. And every single one of his movies has this iconic scene. 2001: A Space Odyssey, the music with the monkeys banging the fucking bones and acting all silly and stuff. I don't know, Edward, I'm going to switch out the battery real quick. Tell me, talk about the film some more, please.
You got it. So, let me think... Sorry, I don't mean to catch some dead air there. But, so also in the movie, like you were saying, it doesn't really have an ending. I don't want to give away what happens, but pretty much, I know in the original, when I was looking it up, the Green Knight, he cuts his head. Well, he just cuts the back of his neck, and it's supposed to be like, I'm cutting you so that you can remember humility or something like that. And and then it turns out that the Green Knight wasn't actually a Green Knight. It was that hostess. I forgot what his name was, like Barbaduke, or he had some weird name. I can't remember what it is. This is the one that had the mistress. But no, I don't want to give it away. But there's
Joel Edgerton's character.
Yeah, but there's nowhere in the one I saw that talks about him like nutting on his little robe or his little belt.
Yeah, David Lowery probably had a producer like you, and you were like, "Hey, man, I got this scene I want you to add in the movie."
He's like, "For what?" He's like, "You owe me one." I don't know. I think that scene caught me off guard. I was like, "What the hell?"
What's her name? Laura Croft. Mm-hmm. She's gorgeous, dude.
Oh no, I was looking at my popcorn, make sure I had nothing in there.
Oh Jesus, dude! Can you hit my button again? Yeah, her. I was reading some reviews about it too, and somebody was like kind of clowning that she played two characters.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, because she plays the girlfriend, but then she also plays, I don't know, would you call her a mistress? I don't know what she is.
Well, they said she's like a lady.
Hostess?
She's like a noble woman. Like that's like somebody who he would be able to be married to or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's why he's like attracted to her, because she looks like his side piece.
Oh, got you.
Or it's like a test. It's like everything was a test. It's good, man. This movie is about honor and nobility and, trying your best to be a good person and what that means. Because being a good person means like different things to people. Mm-hmm. You can ask a Christian who's like, what's being a good person? Oh, you have to go to church every Sunday and you have to donate this much money and you have to do this and you have to do that. And then you ask me and I'm just like, dude, you just treat people with respect and you don't fucking murder anyone your whole life, I'd say you're a pretty good fucking person.
Do unto others.
Yeah. You're just like just be nice to people. Right. I'm like, that's good enough for me, but everyone has their own like definition of what being a good person is. Mm-hmm. And that's what this movie is about, and he falls short. He fucking falls short a lot. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, he is tested throughout the whole film, and on his bravery is tested and he fails. His
lust, I guess
or self-control is tested, and he fucking fails.
I forgot what the one is for the girl with the missing head. I forgot what they said that one was. I don't remember if it was kindness or
I mean,
generosity, maybe.
He passed that one.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, okay, so yeah, and so remember how we were like, how did he get his weapons back, blah blah blah, and then you think about it, it's like, oh, because he actually passed the test.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I got you. Because at first we were like, these people take off with his weapons, and we were like, and then all of a sudden they reappear, and we're like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
So I think it's whenever he actually passed the test, he gets a weapon back.
And he just got the axe back.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good movie, man. It was good. I highly recommend everyone at least go watch it. It's worth a watch. And you got to be like I said, you just know what you're in store for.
Mm-hmm. It's like The Irishman.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think I'd ever watch that movie again.
The Irishman.
Fuck, dude,
Nah,
it's like
probably
4
not.
hours.
Nah.
That shit's long.
Hell yeah.
And it wasn't even like his other movies. Like Goodfellas is fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
Casino is entertaining.
Yeah, this one was
Kind of drag, dude.
maybe it's just because they're older. I don't know.
Dude, so like I was watching Tarantino, I had a kind of little Tarantino marathon. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then I watched Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of figuring out like Tarantino's like writing is like basically his approach to a scene is like a slow build up to something something dramatic. Okay, so for instance, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the movie starts with seeing him and Brad Pitt driving in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that entertaining?
I guess you're right. I don't know, because are they talking about where they're going or what the meeting's about?
We just see them driving until they pull up to the restaurant, and then they're there ordering drinks, and then they meet up with the producer guy.
I guess it's because you're kind of like figuring out the relationship between the two.
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, if you think about it, like in movies, like what makes a movie? If you look at Tarantino's scene, the way he builds scenes, there's a lot of fluff in there, but it all builds up to like the climax. I watched Inglourious Bastards too, right? The opening scene of that movie.
Oh, that's probably my favorite.
You see a guy chopping wood, right? And then a car pulls up, and then he washes himself, and then they go inside. But his scenes are all very similar, because that's exactly what happens in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You see a guy's in a car going somewhere. They get there, and then they go and have a meeting that leads to a realization, right? Hans Landa, or whatever his name is, figures out that there's Jews under the floorboard, and he kills them. That's the climax of the scene. Leo DiCaprio realizes that he's a washed up actor when this dude's telling him, hey, go to Rome and make spaghetti westerns. There's a realization, that climax.
He's a has-been.
Right. Now, here, man, put these on. Don't cry in front of the Mexican.
Yeah.
I like the way Brad Pitt talks in Tarantino
That's
movies.
his boy, his hype man.
Yeah. Garlo me.
Oh, that's Inglourious Bastards.
He's like, one more time. And he like leans in and he like whispers it. He's like, Garlo me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's his approach to scene, is this like tension that just builds up to this one little moment. Mm-hmm. But if you watch the moments, they're like slow burns too. We're like, why am I watching this fucking guy do what he's doing? Oh, this is why.
Yeah, because it has a payoff.
Yeah.
I got you. No, but I remember I told you the last time, I was like, I wanted to have a Tarantino fucking marathon, and you over here did it without me.
His movies are good.
What'd you watch it on?
I don't know, whatever they're streaming on.
I got you.
I think Django's on Netflix.
Yeah, probably is.
Mm-hmm. And Hateful Eight's on Netflix too.
Surprisingly, I've only seen that movie that one time we went.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool, man. That was our first time watching. That was my first time ever seeing a 70 millimeter?
70 millimeter.
70 millimeter print of a film on a projector. Man, that Draft House is closed down.
Oh, that one did?
The Ritz.
The Ritz. Wow.
Yeah, it's gone. I think that was the original one.
That one or
I think that was the first location, the Ritz one.
I don't know.
Gone now, cool. It was kind of in a dirty spot. Anyway.
Yeah, remember we were trying to find parking. Some homeless man was like, "Come park right here."
Yeah, he
for
was
like
all
$1.
flagging me down.
Yeah, for like $2.
This fucking guy. Surprised. I was all like, man, I was like genuinely concerned that my windshields were gonna be like busted out.
Probably if you didn't give him any money.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that was a cool experience, man. I'm glad we got to see it.
I'm ready for the French Dispatch.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Oh
really
my
good.
God.
That's gonna be fucking good. I can't wait to go see that. What else do we got on the old list? Any movie news?
You can talk if you want to talk about Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, she's suing Disney. Good for her. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, Scarlett Johansson, she made a contract with Disney prior to COVID, and it said that she was going to get bonuses depending on how much box office the Black Widow took in. Mm-hmm. And since COVID, they streamed it on Disney Plus, which cut into a huge amount of her box office revenue, which declined her any bonuses. Or I don't know about any, but majority of the bonus.
I think they made like 65 million on streaming or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I think Black Widow worldwide did like 300 million or something.
Yeah. But so Disney was like, well, you didn't make this certain amount, so we're not going to cut you the check.
Yeah, I think she missed out on like $35 million worth of bonus money or something like that.
Which kind of, I mean, which I can understand being mad about, you know, because that's kind of like that clause, like act of God clause, because I mean, it's well, not really your fault. Right. But so she's in it, and they said supposedly Emily Blunt is going to sue also for Jungle Cruise that just came out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And there's the third one.
Oh, because same thing with her?
Mm-hmm. And there's a third one.
They released it to streaming?
Yeah. Damn, there's a third one.
So these are called back-end deals. So basically, like so what they do is when they sign the contract, and it's essentially for the movie studio to save money during production or put whatever money they were going to pay Scarlett Johansson, they're like, okay, we can just put that into the movie. Mm-hmm. So like instead of paying her, $50 million to do, because I think that's what Robert Downey Jr. was getting, like $50 million a movie.
Oh, but just from the revenue of what it gets at the box office?
No, he was just getting like a flat fee of like $50 million.
God damn, that
you don't remember that?
I'm for sure he did.
That's why they never made another Iron Man after Iron Man 2, and he only made like cameos in certain movies.
No, they made Iron Man 3.
Which one was that one?
I never saw it, but it's the one with the I can't remember the villain's name, but there's an Iron Man 3, I promise. I had tickets to go see it and I didn't go. I know for a fact.
Okay, part 2's the Whiplash guy, right?
And then part 3 is
part 3 is a guy
like a monk looking guy. I forgot his name. Not the Mandalorian. I forgot what his name is.
Is that the one where they turn into fire and shit?
Probably. I don't know, but I didn't see it. I meant to go see it.
But I think that's why they only made like so many Iron Man movies.
Oh, well, remember?
And then then of course he got, $50 million for the Avengers, both Avengers movies.
And then Terrence Howard was mad that he wasn't getting paid like that, and that's why they switched him out.
Yeah, well, I think they were just giving him like shit pay.
Probably.
He should have just fucking taken it and stayed in there, because then eventually the money would have come, Mm-hmm. Like Don Cheadle did a good job, but
it was a huge difference.
Anyways, it's two different actors,
Yeah.
But yeah, so they do that in movies. They're like, hey, in the contract, they're like, part of the negotiations is like, okay, we know this is going to be successful. Mm-hmm. This is going to make so much money.
It's projected.
Right. It's projected to make this much. Okay, if we hit that number, then we'll give you like so much percentage of that money. Mm-hmm. So instead of paying you
$10 million now, we'll give you $30 million later.
Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, do you want to make $50 million a movie, or do you want to potentially make $80 million? Because, we're going to pay you $10 million plus your whatever, 30 or 40 in bonuses. You're going to end up making more.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then we can use that money that we'd be paying you to put it into the movie to make it even better. And we can put that into marketing and blah, blah, blah. There's reasons, right? Uh-huh. And it makes sense. But I mean, you're running a risk, dude. At the end of the day, it's like, the film might not perform and you might not make that money.
That's true.
But I get where she's coming from, because it's not that the film performed, it's that they kind of shot themselves in the foot by streaming it, and her contract had nothing to do with like how many streams, she's not getting paid per stream. So I get it.
Yeah. Man, I wish I could remember who the other one was, but I'm sure this is first of many that are gonna be like that. People who have the same kind of deals. So
It's
I
kind of
wouldn't
what
be
we have,
surprised.
right? You're getting paid on the back end
You know, once this takes off.
per podcast.
Yeah. Once it takes off.
3 years later.
What's his name? Like, I wouldn't be surprised once Dune comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm surprised no one, or maybe they're coming. People who have their stuff on not that coming.
Oh.
People who have big movies that are gonna be on HBO Max, just
Yeah.
like Dune. That's gonna be on HBO Max. That's gonna cut into their money,
It's possible.
and I'm sure that was a huge budget movie.
I think it's funny. I think I saw on Twitter because Disney released a statement and they were just like basically like trying to make Scarlett Johansson like, oh, she doesn't care about COVID, da 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 da, you know. And somebody like screenshotted like a news article and it was all Disney. It was all like Disney like
opens back up.
Disney opens back up, and it was like mid-pandemic, right? It was like when it was still bad and shit.
Yeah,
They were like, yeah, these guys really give a fuck about the pandemic.
yeah, that's true. And they got money to blow. Shit.
Dude, fuck. I mean, I'm not saying fuck Disney, but fuck Disney, dude. They're making money they own Marvel, they own ESPN, they own all these TV networks.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? They own something else. Didn't they buy like another movie studio?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, Disney, Lucasfilms, right? They own the Star Wars franchise. They own Lucasfilms. They own Pixar, all the animation movies. Dude, that's a fucking multi-billion-dollar.
They have their own streaming content.
That's $1 billion entertainment company. Yeah, fuck them.
I was going to tell you. So we were talking about A24, but I saw that Apple is talking about buying them, which is a lot of people are. I don't know. You think it's going to affect them anyway?
I hope.
Because they're kind of like they're kind of like they are indie, but they're like.
Do they need the money?
No, I don't know. Well, it's Apple, so shit.
I mean, does like A24 need the money? Like, I don't know why they would even like
I don't know.
consider that.
But a lot of people were saying how it's kind of like when your favorite band goes like commercial type of thing. I don't know.
I mean, maybe if they like worked out some deal where like Apple didn't fuck with them and just let them keep doing what they're doing, you know? Because like nobody like it wouldn't make sense for Apple to buy them and then change the way they operate, right? Because then nobody's gonna nobody's gonna want to watch it because people will like A24 because of the way they produce films.
Yeah.
If you change that formula, then it's like, what's the point? Then you're just gonna drive that company into the ground. I don't know. What do you think of it? Good, bad? Would you still watch them?
Yeah, I would still watch them. I mean, I have Apple products, so if they were like, hey, watch this brand new A24 movie through Apple TV, I'd be like, oh, okay, shit, sweet.
It'd be all very nice. High five.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
But people, go back to the movie theaters, please. It looks like it's building back up, man. Like what?
We should have told this story. So,
dude, okay, go ahead.
We're all sitting there, and we're sitting there, and these two people come up, like a couple, and they're like, "Oh, you're in our seats." And then Edward whips out his tickets, and I knew that we weren't in the wrong because I'm like, Edward's not fucking retarded, like.
I'm a vet when it comes to my
you got the tickets on the phone, the date, the numbers, and I was like, for a split second I thought, oh, maybe Edward picked the wrong row, but then like, dude, I kind of thought, but I was like, no fucking way, like, dude, you're not an idiot. And so the guy shows his tickets, and it's this fucking row 8, the row we're sitting in with our 2 seats, and Edward, you show him his things, and they're exactly the same. And I was like, oh shit! And I was like, did they like over double sell?
Yeah.
And then I was gonna call somebody over, and then you quit right away. You looked at his, and you're like, "Oh, yours says the 31st. Yours are for tomorrow."
Yeah.
And he looks at it, and then he looks at yours, and he's like, "Oh, you're right." And then
Enjoy the movie.
yeah, enjoy the movie. And then his girlfriend's like, "Sorry guys, it's been one of those weeks."
I was like, I bet it has.
I was like, "Yeah, it happens." I felt bad for them because they felt stupid, dude.
Well, no, not only, like I said, not only that, I don't know where they came from. I mean, if they came from down the street, that's one thing. But if they had traveled, oh, dude, can only imagine the drive back.
Right, if they were like from North Austin or something, yeah. Because we were at the South Lamar location. We keep it south, baby.
But I will say, if for some reason that, let's just say they did have the same tickets as us, I would have probably asked you like, hey, do you want to watch it, or do you want to get some kind of like, I would tell them like, hey man, y'all booked us the same seats. I need, some free tickets or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if they hear like, yeah, we'll give you a couple tickets and some free food vouchers, I'd be like, let's just come back another day.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I would have done it. Fuck it. But yeah, Draft House is good, man. Good food. It was nice to eat in there, and like people were masked up. I was masked up. That Delta variant's on the rise, so I'm kind of eyeballing. And I'm not too worried. I'm vaccinated, but still,
You never know.
You never know. And I like to be safe. Whatever. Caution on the side of safety. Edward, real quick, man. How was your weekend, dude?
Well, I'm trying to think. So we went to the
girls,
movie.
Right?
Yeah, so we went to Draft House Friday night. Saturday morning I went to work. Oh, and then dude, so Saturday night we had a graduation party for my nephew. And dude, my dad would not stop dancing. I was like, God damn, bro.
Is it embarrassing you?
No, he's not embarrassing. I mean, but it's good because that's what he loves to do. That's
right.
Like,
shake his ass.
Yeah, dude, you just think of like Saturday Night Fever.
I feel bad for your mom. You probably took her home and danced with her horizontally.
Probably so, but because like that's what he used to love to do. He tells us all the time. He used to love to go to discos and stuff and dance.
Yeah.
So like that's his shit. But anyways, he kept on saying, "Hey, can I dance with Elena?" Which is my little girl. And I was like. So Elena would dance with them. So the next morning, I was like, "Hey, thank you for dancing with my dad." I was like, "I'm sorry." He kept asking you. She's like, "It's okay. He was just all sweaty." I felt bad because he was sweaty. Dude, my dad has like a sweat issue.
Sweat gland.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
You're gonna inherit that.
No, my brothers have it. Well, one of my brothers has it, and my sister.
Who do you have? You're just dry. You're the opposite.
Yeah, I'm more like on my mom's like genes, I guess you could say.
Dry AF.
Dry AF.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, man, I had my two nieces over this weekend, and it was fun. But they're a handful. When they're not at all compared to the boys. Yeah. Yeah, man, we had a good weekend, dude. We took them out. Just fucking expensive, man. Having kids.
Where'd you go?
Well, I'm not saying it was expensive, but just like when you have like, so Riss and I are just used to paying for us. We go out to eat. It's just us two. We go.
It's kind of everything doubled.
Right. Yeah. It was like, it was double. I didn't realize, oh shit. And you got like two more mouths to feed, but no, we didn't really do anything too crazy. We just took them shopping, and then we went to, we went kayaking on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was fun. We did something Saturday, but I'm kind of drawing a blank. I don't quite remember.
What's the difference between kayaking and then canoeing?
Canoe's like a big boat that just floats above the water.
It's
like a long, skinny boat that floats above, and kayak is like more like
in the water.
It fits like two people. It's a smaller thing, and you're not like you're sitting down in a canoe. You're
like Pocahontas.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Like a canoe is like you're like got little seats, like stools to sit on.
I got you.
A kayak, you're like your legs are stretched out.
It kind of like covers your waist, right?
Yeah, you're sitting. Yeah, you're sitting from the waist up, and that's where the kayak is, as opposed to a canoe is like something you just like sit on, like you're sitting in a chair almost.
I got you. I've never done either. That's why I'm like in my head. I'm like,
dude,
what's the difference?
It was fucking hot. Oh damn, it was hot. Oh yeah, Saturday, dude. Saturday we went to. I took them to like this breakfast spot Arissa and I like to go to, Magnolia Cafe. Arissa had to work though, so it was just us. We went and had breakfast, and then I just took him around at like UT, and I was like driving him around, and I was like, yeah, and but one of them had already been there for school or field trips and stuff. But I was still like, oh yeah, I was like, I'll show you how the building I used to take all most of my classes in, and I was all just fucking reliving my glory days. Yeah, I was like, oh man, I was like, I miss going to school. I miss being a college student, actually being around educated people who don't call you cuz every other sentence.
You took him by the movie department, the film and
yeah,
TV?
I try to go in because it's a public university, so it's usually open. But I guess because of COVID, you have to have a student ID now to like, basically, it's like a key card to get in, and so I couldn't get into the building. But
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, so I guess like now your student ID acts as like a card to open the doors and stuff.
But so you said, well, like, okay, but you were saying like anyone could go in, right?
Used to be, yeah.
Oh, so okay, let's just say I'm in the time when it used to be. I go in, I could sit in a class.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't get no credits.
No, I mean.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. That's what I was like. What? I mean, I'm assuming there's.
I mean, literally, somebody can just wander into a classroom and just go sit in. Especially like one of those big ones. Like they wouldn't know you're not a student.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's what Richard Linklater used to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so I could.
He would just go and sit in on like the film classes and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I had known that, I'd be like, where you at? And you're all like, I'm sitting out here. I'm like, oh, me too.
Yeah, could have came and joined me.
Had no idea I could go in there for free.
Movie nights, we had to go watch movies and stuff.
Oh, that's true. Interesting.
Remember, we were watching The Matrix and like everyone was laughing.
Why?
I don't know, because I guess it was like kind of outdated.
Oh,
It is kind of funny if you watch it. It's just like it's kind of cheesy, dude.
the original
Yeah, the first one. Like whenever he's like fighting.
Morpheus.
Yeah, no, Hugo Weaving.
Oh,
What's his name?
oh yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when he's like
What's his fucking name, dude?
God dog it.
Yeah,
Agent Smith.
Agent Smith, yeah. Whenever he catches that punch, he's like, and he's like, like do that. Like everyone was cracking up at that.
I thought you were talking about the part where he's just like,
remember when he catches that punch and then he like just uses his fingertips and he like hits him and he's like, oh shit, getting all Matrix over here.
I thought that was my mic. I was like, Jesus.
It's me. But anyways, yeah, I thought it was a funny moment. Anywho, dude, we got to wrap this up. We're coming to a close. So, everyone, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Everyone who stuck with us. I know we're not as consistent, but we're trying to be better. Edward, any last words?
People, like I said earlier, go to the movie theater, support your local cinema, even if it is hometown cinemas.
Edward Springer's final thoughts. Yeah. Yes. Anyways, thank you for listening, guys. We have a big episode next week for episode 100. Really excited. We're going to have special guest Jeffrey Garcia back on the show. He's going to be talking about his new feature film, first feature film, Henrietta and Her Dismal Display of Affection. Fucking awesome movie title, dude. Mm-hmm. I asked him, I was like, man, how do you come up with these great movie titles? And he told me to sniff glue.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What's it called? Verbatim?
I was like, not going to do that, but thank you for the advice. So I'm sure he was joking. Yeah, no, I hope he was. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, guys, we're we're gonna be talking about his feature film. It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be a good episode, so I can't wait for it. Episode 100, it's gonna be a big one, so be sure to tune in for that. Like always, thanks everybody for supporting us, listening, watching, sharing, and we really appreciate it. And we look forward to next week when we take you back to the feature.
Bye.